Hey, I'm Luigi. I work at the 8 ICU in the UCLA Ronald Reagan Medical Center. And so, what kind of nurse? I'm an ICU nurse. So most of the time, I'm working with ICU patients and patients who need intensive care. My work hours are from 12 to 12 hours. So I'm working night shift, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And there are also options where you can do breaks or pick up extra, like 8 hours, or whenever they need you, you're always on call, and whenever you're available, they'll call in and try to put you on the schedule. Mostly the nurse to patient ratio is around 1 to 1, 1 to 2, or 2 to 1 sometimes, depending on how critical the patients are. Since our population is very specialized, we usually go 1 to 1. We deal with liver transplants and GI transplants, and I believe the #1 in the country when it comes to that. So it's very intensive, and it's probably very grueling. So we go 1 to 1 with our patients. Why did I want to work in the medical field? Basically, it always was interested me, and there's many options what you could do with the medical field as well. Like you go and get your master's, you could pick a variety of specialties, and it's never going to go stale, and you're always going to have a job security, and the hours are very flexible, and we take advantage of the hours and the schedule that they give us. What is the most difficult part of becoming a nurse is just mostly sometimes everything. You have good days and you have bad days depending on what kind of patient you have, depending on what situation you have. You really have to always be prepared because everything is variable, and you always have to account for variables. And it's just really hard to know the patient's conditions because they could crash out at any time. So we always have to be prepared. And my typical day as a nurse is I go in. Sometimes I go in a little earlier than expected just to look up my patient because the assignments are probably already made up by 6 or 7 o'clock. And I go into work, I get a report from the nurse, I assess my patient, I make sure that everything's okay, and then I make sure I get everything ready, like the meds and everything like that. I administer medications, and I make sure I take care of all the tangibles, like dressing changes, making sure the patient's okay, making sure everything's in place, titrate my drips accordingly, do just a very amount of lab results. We're very independent on our unit. We have probably 90% of our patients are on dialysis, so we manage everything. We manage the ventilator, the dialysis machine, the drips, and everything like that. So throughout the night, you're constantly moving and you're constantly changing. So there's never a set schedule. You could always have a set schedule, but you always have to be aware of the changes.
Okay.
Is that the first part?
Go.
So from my experience, the job requirements, education. So I graduated from Cal State University of Long Beach, where I had to apply to a program, which was a 2-year accelerator program. And then after that program, I had to take the NCLEX. And after you take the NCLEX, you can go and apply for different jobs. But it's really good to start now, especially to volunteer, to get all the credentials ready to, even after you get the job, you have different certifications that you do. You could go get your master's, you could specialize in a certain specialty. There's so many options available for you. And my final advice is to really be persistent and to really go for it. Nothing is ever going to be too hard. There's always a way to figure things out. It's better to work together as a team instead of working individually, because as a team you guys could really split up the work, and you guys could really achieve more goals than doing things individually and really meeting the right people and having a positive attitude about it, because at the end of the day it's not all about money. It's all about finding fulfillment in life and trying to be the best nurse that you can be. And that's mostly it.
All right, thank you, man.